Bada boom, bada bang, bada boom again. I bet you didn't see that one coming. Bang! What am I plugging? Make sure to sign up. Some days I come out here, I flip on the camera, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Make sure that you are If you are looking for a lightweight, speed, no frills, fun shoe, make sure to check out the Supwell app. It's $1 per month. It's my app. It's our community of hobby joggers where we buy, sell, and trade gently used running shoes. We also have an exclusive code for Running Warehouse that takes 10% off of shoes like the Pegasus Plus. This thing's on sale for $140 or something on Running Warehouse right now. You put the 10% off, bang, brings the price down to $120 something. Look at that. So sign up for the app for the discount code, for the buy, sell, and trade, and also for the community. If you're looking for a community of people to come together, there you go. Also exclusive merch. This is not the exclusive merch. This is the regular merch, but I'm going to be doing some merch just for the community soon, so stay tuned for that. All right, enjoy today's video. Bang! Look at that, new merch on deck. I have my chill vibes daily motivation playlist going, and then out of nowhere, Benny the Butcher popped on. Rubber bands and weight. Bro, I'm trying to get more than bags on my Larry June flow. Fire. By the way, I was gonna say, I made the grind on my coffee today just a tiny bit bigger. I always crank the barazza to the smallest setting for the pour over. Today I didn't. I left it on 8 to 10 instead of slamming it down to 2 or 3. So much more of that stone fruit flavor is coming through on the Ethiopian this morning. It's really quite exquisite. So today we're doing the 5 best simple no frills running shoes. A lot of the time we think of this category as boring, and a lot of the times we think of this brand right here, Brooks, as boring. But as we've seen, Brooks is dropping heaters this year. Glycerin Max, they had another heater which I'll highlight here in a second, but Brooks is no longer boring, and these no frills shoes are no longer boring. So what does it mean to be a no frills running shoe? To me, that's having a lower stack height, so roughly below 32, 31 in the forefoot. Some degree, and more important than the stack height really, is some degree of forefoot flexibility to allow the foot to have control of the shoe. And a lot of these have a lighter weight as well, and definitely no plate. Now, why the heck would I make a video about simple no frills running shoes? I'm the Don of the Max Cushion gang, and I love Max Stack, and I love Super Max Stack, and yes, that is all correct. But it's also important, as my Latin teacher from high school once said, you read the good books and the bad. So we have to run in all different types of shoes. Now, these are not necessarily bad shoes, but running in a lower drop shoe or a lower stack shoe, a higher drop shoe or a higher stack shoe, a soft shoe versus a firm shoe, running in all these different types of shoes, especially as we are getting more miles in, is going to be super helpful for staying healthy and putting different stressors on the body. Now, if we're running 2 or 3 times a week, we're just starting out, we don't need to have a massive rotation, unless that's what you want, unless that's part of the fun of running for you. But if you're just getting started, you could do well on 1 or 2 shoes. But as we're getting more miles in, having a shoe like this in the rotation will be helpful for staying healthy, putting different stress on the body, and ensuring that we're not running in Super Max Stack all the time. Now, I do like running in Super Max Stack all the time, but I also make sure to once a week, once every other week, throw down a 10-piece in a simple no-frill shoe, or go for a jog in something that doesn't have a massive stack. So that's what we're gonna go through today. 5 best simple no-frill shoes. And what you'll see is a lot of these are not boring, and especially the ones I picked, they all are quite fun. These are fun shoes, typically give us more connection to the ground. A lot of them still do have some element of speed assistance, and you'll see some more modern foams are trickling into this category. So let's start off with the first one here that I'm holding in my hand. This is the Brooks Hyperion 2. Now, they actually have a GTS version of this, a go-to support version of this, but what makes this shoe so great is the foam. the foam. So this is their DNA Flash, what is it, V2 or V3? I'm not exactly sure what V it is. They have a lot of different V's here, but it's a supercritical TPE. I always feel like I say one too many E's, but I did not. I had the correct number of E's. Supercritical TPE and EVA blend, so a standard training foam mixed with the racing foam. That's what you'll find in this category in general. They're standard training foams that have been livened up and very lightweight. So I did a 25-mile day in this thing and I loved it. The first run I did was actually just run around the neighborhood out of the box, and I said this might be the best speed training shoe of 2024, and it still might be, and that's why I'm highlighting it in this best simple no frills category, along with some of these other lower stack speed oriented or just more connected shoes. So not the biggest stack in the heel, and if you're comparing this to a shoe from 10 years ago, yes, it might be high stack, but compared to what's a lot of is on the market, lower stack in the forefoot here, you'll see there's some good flexibility, and the foam isn't too soft. Now, to qualify for this video and this roundup in this category, you don't have to have a firm foam, but this is a really good one. And across this shoe, across the Hyperion Max 2, which is a higher stack version of this with that plastic plate, more designed for long runs and longer workouts, this foam is really nice. I like it because it still has some modicum, maybe more than a modicum. Every time I say modicum, I follow it up by saying more than a modicum. So maybe I should just stop saying modicum. If you don't know what modicum means, it means a little bit. So this has more than a modicum of support in here, and they also do have the stability version of it. This is the standard version, but great pep in here, and overall a great daily trainer if you want a streamlined, lower to the ground feel. So not the softest foam out there, but it does break in maybe 10 to 20 miles, opens up a little bit more, and enough support within the foam, even though the stack height is lower than a lot of the daily trainers out there, to handle higher mileage. I did a 17-mile long run or 17-mile workout in this, followed by an 8-mile run later that day for that 25 miles, and it performed great. It performed just as well as some of the max stack shoes out there, and the next week I followed it up with doing a 26-mile day in the Alpha Fly, and this is not an Alpha Fly, but the performance in terms of being on your feet for a long time, this is as close as you're gonna get to an Alpha Fly performance in a $140 package. So if you want a lightweight speed shoe on the firmer side or a simple, more connected feel, check out the Hyperion 2. Now next up here, we'll go low price to high price. New Balance Rebel V4. So this is a good back-to-back here, good comparison, because Hyperion 2 also $140, but firmer foam, higher drop. I believe this is an 8mm drop, whereas the New Balance here, this is a 5 or 6mm drop, also flexible, even more flexible in the forefoot than the Hyperion 2, and it is soft. So if you compare the stack heights here, the New Balance might have more stack on paper and visually, but because it compresses so much, I mean, just take a look at the back here. Watch this. Can I get a good idea? Look at this hot dog roll. Yeah, that's just craziness right here. So this is a very soft foam. Let's do a little push test here. Bang. Yeah, very soft foam. So another simple connected shoe with ground feel. It has more of a rocker, which is not the simplest. When we're thinking about geometries and traditional geometries, the Hyperion 2 is more traditional, simpler geometry. This is starting to introduce some of those modern elements, but a lot of ground feel and a lot of flexibility. So if you want a rockered shoe and if you want a softer feel but are still looking for that connection, New Balance Rebel V4 is great. They have a ton of cool colorways for this too. Also very comfortable for walking. If you're the type of person who typically walks in a streamlined, lower stack, barefoot shoe, and you want to mix it up and get more cushion, the Rebel V4 would be great. Now, a lot of the streetwear reviewers have actually said that this is the most comfortable shoe of 2024. So a lot of those guys, they don't review all the Brooks Glycerin Maxes and these super max stack running shoes, that they're not going to review a Brooks Glycerin. So they do review some of the New Balances, and so compared to the Vans of the world and the Jordans of the world and the Nike Vomero 5s, the retro shoes of the world, this is very comfortable. So if you're looking for a cool shoe with some comfort and connection, this is going to be awesome. I also did order in a special collaboration edition of the Rebel V4. If you know, you know. Someone posted it on the app. Bam Bam Baklava. Let's just say I'm excited. Dang, that's delicious colorway. All right, next up here, from the swoosh. It would not be a simple no-frills roundup without at least one Nike, and we are going Peg Plus today. This is my pick from Nike, and the reason why I'm saying it wouldn't be a simple no-frills lineup without Nike is because they're known for making these traditional connected feeling shoes. Now, if you've watched this channel, you know that I love the Vomero. You know that I have an affinity for, that was the word. Remember I was out here 2 weeks ago with the firm shoes, and I said running in one of the shoes reinvigorated my something for firm shoes. Affinity. Also, by the way, I got a haircut. I think anytime I get a haircut, the trucker just looks so big on my head. I look like Kyler Murray out there with the helmet on. I might have to order some dad hat Hobby Talk or something. He also did my lineup differently. I usually go squared. He did it. I think it's okay though. He was a Larry June fan. The guy, he'd been cutting hair for 2 months. We were talking about music. He's a Larry June fan. So shout out to my guy, Chase, putting in work. But you guys know I love the Vomero. I love the Yakuina Brisa shoe. The reason I'm highlighting this is because this is the one that goes up against the Hyperion 2 and the Rebel V4. And you can find this on sale now. I would not recommend this $180 shoe if it were not on sale. That's why I grabbed it, because you can actually find this for $140. Same price as Rebel V4 and Hyperion 2. Very similar to the Hyperion 2. This might have a little more cushion and more of that, look at that snap. So this is a fun ride. It's called ZoomX foam, which is the same foam that's in the Alphafly and the Vaporfly. I'm calling it BoomX foam because this is not the same foam as the Alphafly and the Vaporfly. It's firmer, very similar to the Hyperion 2, maybe even more protective, but because of that 10mm drop, you still get the ground feel and you still get the connection. Also, very narrow fit here, narrow race fit. Similar to the Brooks. Brooks is a little more forgiving, and out of all these shoes, or the 3 shoes we've highlighted so far, the Nike or the New Balance would be the best for wider toe boxes. But if you want a good, again, another good looking shoe, a shoe on sale that you could find for $140, that's going to be great for speed workouts. Bada boom, bada bang. I haven't had a bad run in this thing. It's not as max stacked as any of the other shoes like the Invincible. It's not as cushioned as the Vomero. It's definitely not a soft comfort recovery shoe, but if you want something for running fast workouts, you want that nice snap feeling without a plate to give you more connection, this would be great. This is the type of shoe where I could go and rip off mile repeats, or I could do a nice 10 to 12 mile steady run. I've even done some afternoon doubles on this, and typically I'll pull a comfort shoe for a double, something like the Glycerin Max or the Mag Max or the More V5. But when I want to run some days faster on those doubles, especially if I've done a workout in the morning and I still have some juice and I'm amped up still from a good workout, some days I want to run faster, I'll pull for this, and the miles in it are great. So I think I have about 30 to 40 miles on it so far. I'll do a 50-mile update. Maybe I'll do another workout and some more runs, get it up to 50 miles and do some comparisons, but I'm enjoying it so far. On the first run, I said it was solid. The weight isn't as light as these other shoes like the Rebel and the Hyperion 2, and the price is a lot higher, but with the sales that Nike applies, it's a competitive choice at $140. Just don't buy the newest colorway of it, and you'll always be able to find it for $135 or $140. By the way, I have to mention this in every video. If you're gonna buy any of these shoes, other than the Peg Plus, make sure to use my Running Warehouse link. This one is on sale on Nike.com. I actually think, no, Running Warehouse does have this on sale too. So use my Running Warehouse link for this as well. It helps support the channel. Also, we have a 10% off code. I was about to say it. I'm not gonna say it. You have to sign up for the Supwell app to get the 10% off code. Supwell app, $1 a month. We have buy, sell, and trade marketplace for all the best running shoes in the game, and you get the Running Warehouse discount code. So let's go. Next up here, another $140 shoe. Bada boom, bada bang. The benefit of this category as well is that all these shoes are $140 for the most part. You're not gonna find a simple no-frill shoe for $210. And again, I'll say it one more time. The reason why running in these shoes is good sometimes is because it works different parts of the body. We don't have to go out here and run in a pair of Vibram 5 fingers unless we want to, but occasionally running in one of these as well as our Max Cushion Gang shoes is a good thing to do. And hey, winter, if you're up north or you're up in Canada or you're in any place where it rains a lot, like here in North Carolina, we don't get snow, but it will be 40s and raining. hit the treadmill in one of these. The treadmill is a great opportunity to run in any of these shoes because the treadmill is a bit softer than running out here on the roads. So it's a good opportunity to run in a firmer shoe, get some of those benefits of connection without the hard slamming on the concrete. And that's another reason why I like the cushion shoes more than the lower ones, especially running 100, 110, 120 miles a week. Feel way more protected pounding this pavement out here. So fourth shoe up here today, this is the Brooks Adrenaline GTS 24. Absolute banger. Look at this colorway. This reminds me of a pair of Wheat Tims. These are the Wheat Tims 24s. You think Warren Buffett has ever worn a pair of Wheat Tims? Pretty clean though. I could rock some Dickies or a Carhartt in this. By the way, Supwell merch came in. It will be shipping out probably end of next week. We just got these shirts in. I'm waiting for the Supwell shirts and the hat still, but once everything's in, send it out next week. I said mid-November. We are right on track for that, but I think it looks pretty clean. What do you think? Mileage, baby. And this is a great shoe for mileage. So this is the Brooks Adrenaline GTS 24. It does have some more cushion in the heel here than some of these other shoes. So 39 millimeters in the heel, 27 millimeters in the forefoot, and that 27 allows it to be fairly flexible. Again, that's the quality that I'm looking for in all these shoes today. That flexibility gives the platform connection so that we can feel the ground, so that potentially we strengthen the legs or we just add a different stimulus on the body. It's good to add different stimuli. So what's so great about the Adrenaline GTS 24? Well, the foam in here, DNA Loft. Again, Brooks calls their thing DNA Flash in here, DNA Loft in here. I think it's the V3. This is the same foam that's in the Glycerin 21, a max cushion shoe, the Ghost Max 2, which is a max cushion shoe, and then the Ghost 16, which is the standard daily trainer. In this shoe, you have the 12 millimeter drop, meaning it's lower in the forefoot than the Ghost Max, which has a 5 millimeter drop, or the Glycerin, which has a 10 millimeter drop. And that's what gives it the flexibility. That's what gives it that navigability and the forefoot control. So you get the benefits of a higher drop is that most of the time, especially in 2024 with the way stack heights are going, you get the benefit of cushioning in the heel without all that cushioning in the front. So some cushioning in the heel with ground feel in the front. That makes this shoe a hybrid. It's almost a Max Cushion Gang Barefoot Mafia collab. It's like East meets West collab. It's like when 50 Cent in the game dropped How We Do. This is how we do. If I got one on a move, I'm gonna glow. That's this shoe right here. So nice upper, wide toe box, comfortable, forgiving. I was actually rocking these in the barber shop today. And the barber said, "Woo, those are clean. What are those?" Nah, he didn't. But I saw one of the barbers was rocking Grape 8s. He was rocking Grape 8s with a Charlotte Hornets shirt and a Charlotte Hornets hat. It was a fire fit. And he looked at my shoes. He said, "Brooks?" He didn't say Brooks, but I could tell he was thinking it. Yeah, I don't know. They're not gonna turn heads, but if you're trying to come with that hobby jogger chic drip, this is gonna be a good shoe. So this is the type of shoe where it's a solid workhorse. I ran a half marathon in it out of the box because that's what people do with the shoe. You go into a local running store and you buy an Adrenaline, or you buy a Glycerin or a Ghost, and it's a really solid shoe. It has some good bounce from this foam. You have some of that connection to the ground. It's a perfect beginner shoe. If you want something, just go out there and get the job done. Or if you want to have one shoe in your arsenal that has that higher drop to take the stress off your legs, this is the perfect shoe for that. And especially, I've heard some people say that running in these lower drop plated shoes with the soft foam can work their Achilles more. This is the opposite of that. The foam isn't super soft, it's not plated, and it has a higher drop. So mixing in one of these to the arsenal is great. This is a daily trainer. It's not as fast as the Peg Plus, the Rebel, or the Hyperion 2, but very comfortable, very cushioned. Again, I ran a 13-mile run in it out of the box, and it was great. So just the type of shoe that you can pull for and get the job done. All right, last up here, if that was the Wheat Tims, this is the Robert Frost Spring Flower Poem, one of the lightest running shoes in the game, the Topo Cyclone 2. Shout out to my guy Kent Schultz. So this is a shoe, this is almost like the Super Blast, where I don't personally love it, but so many people out there love it. And the Super Blast is a shoe that I actively dislike. There are qualities to it that make it unenjoyable for me. That wasn't the case with this. It was just when I tested this, I've only done one run in it, so be mindful of it. One run in this. Same thing with the Adrenaline GTS, actually. I've only done one run in it. All these other shoes I've tested more. Rebels up at 130, Peg Plus 30-something, Brooks Hyperion to 30-something or 40-something. This one run. But this is a classic. This is a cult classic. People absolutely love this thing. This is what put Topo on the map in the hobby jogger community. It has 100% of race foam. That's the difference between this shoe and any of the other shoes here. Charlie's backing out in the mom wagon, putting in work. What shoes are you rocking? On? I almost pulled those. She's rocking the On Cloud Runner 2. The On Cloud Runner 2, it's funny, I almost brought it out here today. I decided not to because the Adrenaline GTS. But that is another great shoe. If you're looking for an On shoe that has more flexibility and ground feel, check out the Cloud Runner 2. I have a first run review of that one up on the channel. Charlie's put a ton of miles up in that shoe and she loves it. But Topo Cyclone 2, this is the only one with 100% of the race foam midsole, very lightweight, very flexible in the front here, and overall a solid shoe for running fast. That's why people like it. They like the lightweight, fast feel. They like the benefit of the bounce. This race foam here, polyether block amide, PEBA, that's the brand name for the foam, PEBA. It's very bouncy. You can't deny that. The reason I didn't like it is because when I tested it, I was in high mileage marathon training. I did some mile repeats in this and I said, gosh dang, this is a soft, not supportive shoe. Feels like my feet are just slamming against the ground. So it's not gonna work for everybody, but if you want a softer, more traditional shoe that has a lot of ground feel and is very lightweight, if you've previously run in racing flats or you're used to wearing barefoot shoes to the gym and you've jogged in barefoot shoes or just lower to the ground shoes, this will be great. And if you want a lightweight shoe for speed training, this would be great. Out of these shoes, personally, this is not going to be my pick for everyday miles. I do have to run in this again, but relaying what other people like about it so much, it's the lightweight, it's the bounce, that feather light feel for speed training with some pep in your step. So there you go. Those are the 5 best no-frills, simple ground feel running shoes. It's not my favorite category. It used to actually be my favorite category. Last year I ran in these shoes a lot, but as I've built my mileage up, I've gone toward more cushioned shoes, and maybe it's just in my head that I feel more protected, but no, I do feel more protected in the Max Stack shoes. And if you look at what a lot of the pros are training in, they're doing their workouts in the Max Stack plated shoes, and they're doing their everyday miles in. If they're a Brooks athlete, they're doing it in the Glycerin. If they're a Nike athlete, they're doing it in the Zoom Structure or the Invincible. If they're an Adidas athlete, they're doing it in the Adi Star or one of the Supernova shoes. So that's the way that the market is moving from hobby joggers to the pros. A lot of us are going towards the more cushioned shoes, but there still is a place for these types of shoes in our lineup. So hope you enjoyed the video today. Again, make sure to, I was going to say, what am I plugging again? Make sure to buy your shoe through my Running Warehouse link to help support the channel. It helps me buy these shoes. For the most part, I've bought these all with my own money. Some of them I actually got this Topo from Topo. I got the Nike I got from Nike. Some of these shoes I buy with my own money. Some I got sent from the brand, but being able to have the money to buy the shoes means I don't have to worry about someone like Adidas saying they have other priorities with the Adidas Adi's Evo SL. I don't know where I'm going to get that one. Everyone wants to see the Evo SL. I'll get that one whenever I can buy it. So thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Bro, that's looking so clean. Same color as the sky. Look at that. Shout out to my guy Barrett who designed these. That is looking so good. Woo! Supwell certified. Man. So cool seeing that on the shirt.